What's up, guys? ATG here again with part 2 of how to write and record a song from start to finish. Let's just jump right into it. I have Reaper already opened. We talked about that in the last video. I don't know if you downloaded Reaper or you already had your program, but anyways. If you watched the last video, you should have came back with a track already recorded that we could get started with. I've done the same thing. I have my guitar parts recorded here. It's just one guitar part. I just record with two microphones, if that's confusing here. I'll go ahead and play that real quick just so you kind of see that it's not great. It doesn't have to be. This is just for us to get started with. So, what we're going to start with today is adding drums, finding a beat, so that we have a drum track that we can follow when we do our final recordings. That's why this being perfect isn't necessary. We just want it laid out so that we can put tempo markers down and all that stuff for later on down the road. First, what I would do is go to File, on Reaper anyways, maybe different in your program, Project Settings, and set the time base for items as time and time base for tempo as beats. That's so that when you change the tempo up here, the song doesn't stretch or shrink, just the beats will change. That way when we put markers in, the drums will change if your tempo changes. Sometimes your song will be the entire same tempo the whole way. It just depends on what kind of song you're doing. I know this is going to change tempos throughout, so we'll get into finding that here in a minute. So what I would start with is I'll open up my drum program. I'm using EZdrummer 2. It's affordable, tons of expansions, different drum sets, tons and tons and tons of different grooves. Pretty much anything you can imagine, you can find it in here. I'll also just scroll through this so you can see. I mean, it's got starts, bridges, intros, outros, chorus. Like I said, anything you can think of, it's going to be in here. So what I would normally do is, just for an example, I'll do it real quick. I play the song, and I kind of have a bass tempo started somewhere where I think it's going to be. And I'll just play it and go and click through these drums until I hear one that I like. As you can see, we probably don't want Latin touch on this, but you get the idea. I have a couple of these saved for this song just for the sake of the video, so that you're not spending 3 hours with me just trying to find drum beats. That you can do on your own. I'm just going to show you how I do it and how I get started, and that's kind of how these videos are going to go. I'm going to give you an introduction on how to do it, but I can't put the beats and the songs for you. I can't write the parts for you, but I can help you through it. I mean, I can. If you want to put comments in down below, I can help you with whatever you need. But for this video, that's how this is going to go. So I'm just going to go over here and click to my favorites anyways. So I would have been scrolling through this, and I would play my song, and I would have come up with this. And right now 130 beats is actually lining up with the song, so we could say there is 130 on the intro. So what you would do is, if you like that, on EZdrummer you would bring it to where your song starts, or wherever in the song that, you know, the measure change, you would drop each beat, or however your program works. I'm going to list this in the description, and also a few free plugins that you can get started with. That way you don't have to buy anything. There's a bunch of free ones out there that have grooves and everything. I'm going to be using instructions on this because this is the video of what I'm doing. I'll make other videos with maybe some of the free plugins, just, for example, to show it can be done. So anyways, I like this beat, and at the beginning of this, when I was writing it, I thought it'd be cool to have the intro, just guitars first, the first measure, and then have the drums come in, and maybe pan them left and right and let them come in together. So I would play this until my second part. Which would be 4 measures after the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I drop my drum beat to start right there. So let's see what that does. And really that lines up perfect. Stops right at the next part. So I'd like to keep that, and the 130 sounds good. So what I would start with is I would come up here to the beginning, since that's the beginning of the song. Start this all the way back. And then I would insert a marker as my intro, and you can label these and it'll help you get through the song a lot better, so you know where all the changes are. And we're going to put a tempo marker at the beginning. Let's go with starting at 1 second. I always leave a little delay at the beginning of the song to start, and we're going to leave it at the 130. And as you can see up here, we have the 130 tempo, so that'll carry until you make another tempo change, or just until the end of the song. So now that we've got that, let's find our second part of the song and mark that in here so we can start finding a pattern for that. So it looks like 17. So we're going to put another tempo marker here. I'd say that sounds like it's a little slower. So let's just knock 5 off that. Just start with whatever you want as you're playing the drum beats. You can come back to your marker, and once you find a beat that kind of fits but it might be off tempo, just come in here and fiddle with this number until your drums line up with your guitar or whatever you're recording over. And that's how you're going to find the tempo of your whole song if you didn't do it with a metronome or you don't know how to find your tempo. So we're going to start at 17, and we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to come back, we're going to play the song, and we're just going to layer some drums over it until we find one we like. Like I said, I have a couple saved just for this song so that y'all don't have to watch me do that the whole time. And we'll just kind of continue what we're doing until we have drums that line up all the way to the end of the song. And once that's all finished, we're going to have a complete backing track of drums to record our guitar, our bass, our keyboard, our vocals. That way we're on time. It's easy to find out where we're at. We know the time signature changes. We know whatever we need to know about the song. We'll get to start with that instead of trying to go backwards. I don't know if this is how everyone does it. I prefer to get a good guitar recording with the beat that I'm going to use, because personally I like to strum with, the double bass, etc. So you may be a drummer and you're recording your drums and you're going to need guitar, etc. and bass, so this might be irrelevant to you, and we'll have something for you later on down the road. So let's get back into this. We're going to play where we just did our time signature change. like it's not the right tempo. So let's come over here. We're gonna play it. It's too slow. So I was wrong. And that's why we're doing this. Let's try 135. There we go. Let this keep playing, and we're gonna find out where the next time change is, or the next change in the music. Okay, for me it looks like it's 33, so I'm gonna go in here again, set tempo 135. Let's just start with the number. I'm going to go back to what we started the song with, around 130, and try that. So here we are again. Looks the same. We're going to keep our marker there. We're going to go back into our drum program. And at 33 here, we're going to find a beat that fits into there. I think I like this first one. And once again, it sounds like it's too fast, which is why we're doing this, as it's kind of starting to show itself why we need to. Some people are just good. They can guess a tempo, find out a tempo like that, type it in, boom. Sometimes you need some help. We're not all perfect. And that's the point of this series, is you don't have to be great at anything. You can just have a couple skills and get away with it. Let's try that. It's got a little bit of a change, but it's on the same beat. Now, if you've caught on by now, you're trying to look as you're doing this also to mark your tempos. And it looked like it changed around 49, which on my song is going to be the same as the intro. So we should be able to just go back to that. I'm going to start with 130 this time. See if we get it right the first try. So, go back to our program. Here we are again. We're going to come down here where we started at 49, and we're going to play it. catch what time signature or where the time signature change is going to be, but we'll just play it again and find it. Now you're thinking probably, well, this is just going to sound like the same beat over and over and over. I'll make another video on just making drums specifically. I'm just doing this as part of this series, but for example, you can come over here on this and go to Song Creator, and you can actually drag one that did fit into, say it's a 4 measures, so they're usually in 2 measures. So say you found 2 measures that line up, but you don't want it to be the same. If you drop that into this on EZdrummer, it will give you an entire song structure of endings, pre-choruses, choruses, and you can come through here and click on different ones. And they will sound similar, but different velocities, etc., to give you more of that real feeling, and that way it doesn't sound like a computer is running your drums. You'll have drum beat changes. And if you needed to, you can always go in to edit play style. You can change velocities, volumes, beats, anything you can think of. You can make a very unique drum beat, or just use the ones that are on here. They're fine, they're just beats. Anyways, let's continue on. So let's start at 57 and go from the end of that and find our stop. Sounded pretty good already. And it kind of hides the crappiness of the guitars. 65. So 65 on my song, I'm going back into the hard part, so we would put this at, what was it, 125 again, I believe. And we would play it again. As you can see, this kind of just repeats and repeats and repeats, and that's why I saved some of these, because I have thousands. So if you sit here and watch me find all these the other day, you would get bored, and I'm trying to make these so you're just getting information and that's it, and you could take it, use it instantly, and you're not trying to figure things out like what the heck is he doing, this is boring, etc. So anyways, continue on. Let's start at our 65 change. It's back to the hard part. So we're going to use the same type of bridge as we did before, but it's just slightly different. And sometimes these will tell you, like this is a China 2 crash. I think before we used a China 2 crash. So as you can see, they may sound the same on the description, but these patterns are completely different than what they are, even though they're named the same. So you just kind of gotta go through and feel them, edit them. So let's play that. See, I kind of dropped something out right there. Strumming just like. It looks like it changed at 89. Yeah, and that's where, see, as you start, if you did your parts right, once you start laying drum tracks, they kind of end where you need to anyways, and you don't have to listen to the song, but it's good just to line them up. So we're at 89 again. We're going back into the same part that we had before, which was 130 beats per minute. See, it started making it easier once you get down the road. So now we're on the last part of this guitar. We'll find another drum beat, and we'll pretty much have a foundation of drums we can start with, and you can go through your program and edit your tracks however you want, add whatever beats you want, make them your own, and go through here, change it. Like I said, this is just a good way to get it started. I don't necessarily think I would keep it exactly like this, where it's just boom, 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 copy track, copy track. You can go in here. They've got different fills and stuff. You know, say you wanted to put some drums leading up to the beginning of the song, so you could put a couple fills here and maybe delete some of this. You can mix and match them and just play them back, and usually you can get them line up really good. You can't even tell that you spliced anything. So anyways, let's get back to the end of this song. We're going to start around 189 at the end. Guitars are pretty close. Like I said, once you go back and record on top of this, the guitar should be perfect, because you're going to have to keep recording your tracks until they do line up, or it just won't ever sound good. This makes it a lot easier. I think it got it. Let's see what that does. Go to the end here. Not bad. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to give this song a little playthrough real quick, just so you can see how quick we just laid some drum tracks. Didn't really edit them at all, just used the factory ones and how it kind of sounds. And you can tell that it's already starting to hide your guitars a little bit and make them sound better, even though we didn't even try to record those good. So here we go. Not bad, huh? Friend probably wouldn't even know this wasn't a real drummer. I won't make you listen to the whole song because it just repeats like any other song. A couple little things you add here and there. But as you can see from here, we have a pretty decent drum beat that we could start on. Take this how you want. Make your drums onto your song however long you need. Get them lined up that sounds pretty good to you. And when we come back, we're going to start making this sound like a legit song. We're going to record our guitars. We're going to double track our guitars. We're going to find out how to put the bass in here with or without an amp. However we got to do it. We're going to give a couple different examples. So work on this. Like I said, I'll put a couple links in the descriptions for free ones along with EZdrummer. I highly recommend it. It's worth the money. And as you can see, it sounds really good. This is with no editing, no plugins, anything. This is raw. Once we get down to mixing and mastering everything at the very end, I mean, it really starts coming together. And like I said, you almost wouldn't tell that it's not real drums. So some people can nitpick, but that's them. We're just trying to have fun and make music, right? So I'm going to leave you with that. Go get your drums made. Leave some comments. I can help you make some drums. I can help you find the programs. Whatever you need to know, just ask it. I'm here. I'm always checking. Let's get this family growing. And don't forget, be one of the first 1,000 subscribers to get this channel going. And I'm giving away a free Schecter guitar for one of those 1,000 people. So help me out here. Help yourself out. Maybe get a guitar. You're learning. And we'll just continue this road. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next video.